Hello everybody. Well, welcome to day one of my 5-day training. So excited about this. So I want to tell you really quick why I decided to do this. So first of all, if you don't know me, welcome. My name is Melissa Adrian. I am a certified personal trainer and a certified nutrition coach, and I've been doing that for about 15 years. I also teach some online college courses. Right now I'm teaching fitness assessment and program design, and then I also teach a nutrition course. And primarily I do weight coaching with women, specifically women who really want to change their relationship with food and with their body and are sick and tired of the diet roller coaster and sick and tired of feeling bad about themselves and really want to get to the root issues. So I incorporate in my psychology background and life coaching and all of that to really kind of get down to what is really going on. And I love it so much. But the reason I wanted to put this together is that I know so many people that feel stuck who want to make a change, but either they're not sure where to get started or what they believe it's going to take to see a change is so big and overwhelming that it's actually preventing them from getting started, right? It's like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do, and it's going to be this huge diet overhaul, and I'm going to have to work out every single day. And so I've got to wait till, everything calms down and my life is perfect, and then I'll start doing that. And it's preventing them from getting started. And from coaching so many people, I have seen that it doesn't have to be these big extreme things. And so I was like, if I were to sit down and start with somebody and just say, what are some basic things you can do to get started that are simple, that you can incorporate right now, that don't require a ton of time, that I have seen work for my clients, what would that be? And so this week, I'm going to go through these 5 things that I think are really powerful, but again, easy to implement and can help eliminate a lot of confusion and overwhelm, which I know so many of us feel when it comes to making some sort of change. So if you get to jump on live, that's great. If you're watching the replay, I'm so excited. Feel free to comment, ask any questions as we go through. I'm going to try to keep these pretty short. But today we are starting out, hey Lauren, we are starting out with one that I think is so simple, but yet so many of my clients do this and they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, like I've lost weight, I feel better, I'm like all that, right? And it's not even hard. This is one that I don't think we talk enough about. It's such a great foundational tool that you can always come back to. And this is one, here's your riddle for the day. It doesn't require any extra time, and yet time is a key component to this one. So it is to simply slow down, specifically slow down when we're eating. Now in my program, I put this under a module called mindful eating. So I'm going to show you guys really quick. Can I switch this? Yes. So I've got my computer right here and I'm going to be going through some slides here that I put together. So if you want these, it's got a lot of good information. I'm going to put a link below when I get done, and you can jump onto, I'll be sending this out to my email list. You can jump on there and I'll send this out to you this week. But this kind of goes through and summarizes what we're going to be talking about today. So if you see me looking over here, that's what I'm doing. So, okay, so slowing down. This is such a simple thing that we can do, that you can start doing right away, that has such a huge impact. So listen, I'm talking to myself today with this one too, because I can be so bad with this one. I don't know about you guys, but I can tend to eat so quickly, eat when I'm distracted, and I would pair eating slowly up with paying attention, right? So slowing down, paying attention. And then the third thing I put under this mindful eating umbrella is paying attention to our hunger and the hunger scale, which I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, which is really, really helpful, and it really pairs up good with this one. But I know, like last night I was making my kids dinner and I'm like eating dinner over the counter and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not even like, I need this as much as everybody else, right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in that and to eat quickly. So what's the problem with that? Well, when we eat really fast, we eat with distractions, it can be really kind of hard for our body. It's like dumping all this stuff into our system. And when we do that, we often miss really important cues from our body. Specifically, we miss hunger and fullness cues. So again, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But just slowing down and paying attention to how we feel when we eat can be huge into just getting that feedback. I think so many of us are a little bit disconnected from our body and disconnected to how we really feel, and oftentimes disconnected to how certain foods make us feel, right? So maybe you get done eating and you're like, I feel bloated, I don't feel good, but we don't know exactly why. So when we slow down, we pay attention, that can help out tremendously with that. Like I know for me, pasta is a big one, right? When I'm eating it, it's like, it's so good, and I'm eating it, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh my goodness, right? Like I feel bloated, I overate. So really starting to slow down, pay attention, and see how the foods make us feel, and how getting those hunger and fullness cues. Okay. We also can watching TV when we're eating is a great example, or working. And that's another time when we can tend to overeat, eat too fast, and then not enjoy our food and feel bad. Another big thing with this is that it takes about 20 minutes for our stomach to tell our brain that we're full. So this is a really interesting thing that I'll do with a lot of clients, and I've done this in some of my group programs, and people always come back and they're shocked. But I'm like, just time yourself for one meal. Just like start the timer. There's actually an app called Eat Slowly that you can use as well, and just see how quickly you eat a meal, right? Now, I know that some meals, like it's gonna be really hard to stretch out to 20 minutes, but most people come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I ate my dinner in 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, I 30 seconds, like I'm shocked. I had no idea. I knew I was eating fast, but I had no idea I was eating that fast. So it takes a little bit of time for our stomach and the signals and the nerves to tell our brain, hey, I've had enough. So slowing down, even if it's just by a few minutes, can again help you to kind of connect to your body and know when you're full and when you've had enough. And I always tell my clients, you can always go back and eat more, but once you've overeaten, you can't undo it, right? Once we're like, oh, unbuttoning the pants, we can't overdo that. So that's just a little simple thing that you can do. So benefits of this, besides just connecting more with our body, getting those hunger and fullness cues, you can, hey Jess, you can reduce stress around eating time, right? So one of the things that I'll do when I catch myself eating fast is I just slow down and pay attention to chewing my food, right? Like I can tend to like swallow it without chewing it. So just take the time to slow down, really think about actually chewing the food. And that's from a physiological standpoint, so much less stressful for our digestive system. And then from a psychological standpoint, eating food is something that should be enjoyable, right? Whether it's healthy or not, like it should be something that's enjoyable. So just reminding ourselves of this beautiful, simple little thing that we get to do, slowing down, paying attention. Enjoying the food, wine tasting your food is one of the things we teach. So just really paying attention to how it feels and what it tastes like and enjoying it. Okay, so some of the things that can be helpful and some of the time, so I have another little handout, when maybe you struggle with this, and I know that I do, times when you maybe want to pay just a little bit more attention. First of all, when you're really, really hungry. So this is one of the things my clients report, like when they're starving, it's really hard to eat slowly. It's really hard to eat mindfully. So not allowing yourself to get to that point of extreme hunger can be super helpful. Now, what that looks like for you might be different. In the beginning, it might be eating more small, frequent, healthy meals throughout the day. It might get to the point where you regulate your hormones. That's one of the things that I teach, so that our hunger levels actually drop down. But making sure that you don't let yourself get to that point where you're starving can help to slow things down and help you to be more mindful. Okay, this is a good one. Eating fast when it's something you really enjoy or something you think is quote unquote bad, right? It's almost like we feel like we're gonna talk ourselves out of it. So we're like, oh my gosh, I better hurry up and eat these cookies. So one of the things I wanna give you permission to do is, like, no matter what it is, just give yourself permission to slow down and enjoy it, right? And again, really wine taste it. So if it's a cookie, if it's broccoli, whatever it is, you don't have to like out eat yourself, right? You don't have to hurry up and eat before you talk yourself out of it. Give yourself permission to just eat and enjoy. Okay, obviously when you are rushed or stressed. So in those situations, sometimes you can't change the stress or the time, but again, just becoming a little bit more mindful, slowing down, breathing, focusing on chewing, those things can really, really help. And then when you are distracted, so I talked about this one a little bit already, but if you can, at least one meal a day, starting off where you turn off the phone, turn off the computer, turn off the TV, and just sit and focus on eating, focus on the food, focus on how it feels, focus on how you feel. And for those who want to incorporate more mindfulness into their life, and maybe you want to do something like, you know, you've tried meditation or journaling or prayer or something, but you sometimes feel like you don't have time to do that, you have to eat anyways. So to be able to incorporate some mindfulness into that can be a huge thing. And what you're really doing is you are helping your nervous system to calm down. So when we're eating, when our body's digesting, we're in what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is when we're in a low stress state. So if we're trying to eat and digest, and at the same time we're having really stressful thoughts, we're hurrying, it's very confusing for our body. And a lot of times that's when we start to experience digestion issues and bloating and all those types of things. So giving yourself the chance to shift into that parasympathetic nervous system, giving your nervous system a chance to kind of calm down before and during and after you're eating for a little bit can have a huge, huge impact, okay? So that is it. That's step one. That's your first challenge, is simply to slow down. So if you want to, I would love it if you time a meal and send me a message and let me know, because listen, you can't beat me. I'm sure I have been worse than anybody else. I can probably eat my meals in 30 seconds. So it's something I'm always practicing, but you might surprise yourself. And then once you kind of know, from there, you can kind of work on just maybe a few extra minutes, right? One of my clients, she always focuses on putting her fork down between bites, right? Even if she's working, she's like, I put my fork down, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, it's taken 20 minutes and I feel great. I haven't overeaten and I don't feel overly full. So slow down and be mindful. That's step one. And you guys, this is really at the base of every diet, right? One of the things that works with diets is just that you start paying attention, right? No matter what the diet is, you're just paying attention to what you're doing more than you were before. So of course you're gonna start to see some results. So again, for my clients, we don't even change anything right off the bat. We just focus on this mindfulness piece, and they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So start with just timing yourself, or if you don't wanna do that, just taking a deep breath, slowing down, focusing on the food, allowing yourself to enjoy it no matter what it is, and just having that mindfulness piece to it. So hope that is helpful. Tomorrow, we're gonna pair this up with the hunger scale and knowing when have I had enough to eat? When do I need to eat? How does all of that work? I've got a really good visual that I'll share with you guys, a hunger scale that I use with my clients that really helps them to figure that out. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I hope you can join me. I think I'm doing that one at 1. I can't remember, but I'll post it. So love you guys. Have a awesome day, and I'll talk to you later.